Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, going over 5 wrestlers who could potentially dethrone the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And normally, I don't do 2 videos in a day, but since SmackDown is today, I want to do this over so I don't get spoiled on the recent episode of Friday Night SmackDown. So, that is like literally in the next hour. So, yeah, I'm going to post this before SmackDown starts so I don't have to technically cheat. But before we end this video, big thumbs up down below, hit the subscribe button if you're new, because I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. Really like to get there before the end of the year. Anyway, let's cap today's video. Drew McIntyre. And the reason why I say Drew McIntyre is that, first off, I think Drew McIntyre deserves a world championship opportunity. It's been like a long time. It's been over a year and a half since he's gotten a world heavyweight championship or a world title opportunity in general. And I'm honestly very excited to want him to go against this babyface Cody to start off this fresh new reign of Cody Rhodes as WWE's champion. And I think this would be a perfect first challenger for Cody Rhodes. Like we have Drew McIntyre keep and going at Cody Rhodes saying, hey, you're not this character. You're like this fake. You're not nice. You're blah blah blah. You're not actually a good guy. You're a bad guy. Kind of like how Kevin Owens was doing it, But then, of course, Cody Rhodes comes up on top of Drew McIntyre. And I feel like this reign, starting off with Drew McIntyre, is way better than what Cody Rhodes' first reign started back in April of 2024. Because if you remember correctly, Cody Rhodes came out, and The Rock came out, and we all thought that The Rock was... But now, that didn't ever happen, so that's why kind of Cody Rhodes' first World Championship reign was kind of disappointing. Now that we kind of really moved away from that, we can finally start off this this Cody Rhodes' second title reign with the World Heavyweight with the world title, different and better than ever before. And we can start off with Drew McIntyre. And it's honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like it's kind of unpredictable because I feel like WWE could give Drew McIntyre the ball in the world title reign, because I don't know. I feel like this title reign of Cody Rhodes won't be as long as his first one. I don't think it will ever be as long as his first one, because I guarantee you he's gonna get that WWE Championship back multiple times. Because I guarantee you he's gonna have at least 5 to 7 World WWE Championship reigns before he actually hangs up his boots. So, I feel like starting off with Drew McIntyre is also a good, solid thing, because I feel like they would have good matches, good promo skills, because Drew's improved his promo skills so good, and Cody has phenomenal promo skills as well. So I feel like starting off with Drew McIntyre would be absolutely great for storyline perspective and the matches they would have. Plus, the Clash in Paris crowd will absolutely love Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. So, and having it at Clash in Paris would be fun, great atmosphere to have their first match. So I think we should do it there. And actually, before that too, I think Drew McIntyre was also the first person to pin Cody Rhodes before WrestleMania 40. So I think isn't that like the second or last person to ever pin Cody Rhodes since going on his undefeated streak. Obviously, I know he got pinned Mania, and then that's the last time he got pinned. So, yeah, honestly, I think that John Cena was the last one to pin him, but Drew McIntyre was one of the last people to pin Cody Rhodes. So, it also makes sense for storyline perspective, too. Now, I know Randy Orton is some person that I feel like it does make sense. It just makes sense because, first off, Cody and Randy have this long history past. If you know the Legacy group, yeah. This would also make very much sense. This is also could be one way we can finally get that Randy Orton heel turn that everybody's been hoping for. Like, Randy Orton, they could have one match together, and then Randy Orton doesn't turn heel right away, but then in the second match he's a heel already, or he turns heel in this first match where he kicks Cody Rhodes in the head, or on a random episode of Friday Night SmackDown, he jumps Cody, gives him an RKO, pumps him in the face, and literally just says, I'm done with you, bro, I'm done, right? And we could finally start that Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship feud that I feel like many people have wanted for years. Also, put in perspective how good these matches would be. The storyline would be phenomenal if we got Randy, that heelish character, back with those promos, those nice promos, and his sneaky heelish tactics. I think would work for a great babyface Cody Rhodes, and we can finally maybe get a like a good way to have the crowd cheer for Cody Rhodes, even though they probably will still cheer for Randy Orton, but who knows? I feel like this could be one of the bigger ways, though, to get this man heel. And storylines, moves, everything would literally just be perfect for this. So that's why I think we should have this feud. And honestly, I don't know if it's hard to believe, but I feel like having Randy Orton defeat Dethrone Cody Rhodes is not that hard to believe. Yeah, I think. I think it's one of the most easiest ways to take the title off of Cody, and that could be even before WrestleMania. So, the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. Normally, I wouldn't include Brock Lesnar in this type of video because he hasn't been around 2 years, but it's Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has a big draw power. Well, either it's negative or positive. It's both right now because it's mostly negative, but it's both because of the Janelle Grant and all that stuff and what's going on with and Brock Lesnar's name being in that case stuff. But I don't really talk about it on the channel because I don't really. This channel's not that serious about that type of law stuff. And by the way, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not that smart. I don't know how that stuff works. If Brock Lesnar's back, we can at least put him in storylines. Him versus Cody Rhodes, that feud in last summer or 2 summers ago in 2023, they had a beautiful feud. Love their feud. Can we have it again? Yes. I think it could also be better this time with the World Heavy Champion. We got Brock do the same thing with Cody. He did to Cody 2 years ago in 2023. If him just throwing him around, but Cody ends up taking the W's in the first match. Though actually, the 2023 feud worked because Cody could take a L without losing the title. Maybe I don't know. Matches they could have one, maybe even 2 matches where eventually Cody Rhodes can defeat the Brock Lesnar, which I think they shouldn't do 3 matches. Now I'm thinking about it, they should just do 1 or 2 at most. But don't actually give the title to Brock Lesnar because I feel like that's just gonna hurt the company a little bit. I don't know. I feel like giving the world title, the main championship in the company, to a guy who's in a court, who's in lawsuit, or at least names in the lawsuit, that doesn't really sound good for brand friendly. So I think what's best is I think we have a feud against Cody Rhodes, but I feel like we just don't give him the title, have him lose in 1 or 2 matches, and then we're done with the feud, and then we won't have to ever go back to it. But I feel like I would like to see in 2025 Cody Rhodes take on a 2025 Brock Lesnar, because that would be very interesting to me. And could it live up to their 2023 matches? We will find out if it happens. But I also feel like it's believable that Brock Lesnar could potentially dethrone Cody Rhodes, because he's done it before in 2023 at Night of Champions. The only time he's ever done it. Also, it's Brock Lesnar. I feel like WWE is not afraid to give Brock Lesnar a championship. I feel like now maybe. But if you really think about it, because WWE doesn't really talk about that lawsuit. Again, it's a product, it's a TV show. You don't really talk about real life all the time in WWE. But you can have him take a feud, and in the show's perspective, and exclude all the stuff that's happening in real life right now, it's a real reality that you could actually have the title put on Brock Lesnar. Would I like it? Not necessarily, but it's a possibility. I wish it was. I understand, but it's not impossible. Like, it's a reality that could potentially happen that I have a hard time seeing, but I can see it. Up fat too. So I'm starting to have a hard time seeing this, but if Jacob Fatu's done with the bloodline stuff, put him in the world championship scene, have him as a match against Cody, because can you imagine the matches Cody versus Jacob Fatu could bring? The banger after banger after banger matches they could have. It would be incredible. And I think that would be a perfect opportunity to finally see Cody Rhodes take on a great challenger on the mic. in the ring, especially in like some type of new character that Cody Rhodes really hasn't faced. And it's not really babyface versus babyface. It's kind of a kind of what the current day version of a babyface is, kind of like a tweener in Jake Fatu, because he's willing to do what heels does, but he can like understand people. He respects people. He kind of favors into. He attacks the heels, but he can also attack baby faces as well, and he can do a little bit more respect. But Cody Rhodes is that stand-up guy who's a traditional babyface and loves it. But in my eyes, I feel like a Jacob Fatu tweener, but who attacks more baby faces or may attacks more heels than baby faces, I feel like would work in this like category with Cody Rhodes. Though I still think we should have Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu at least once for the WWE Championship. It doesn't matter how many times. I just need it once for the WWE Championship. It could be on the Ring of Episode SmackDown. I would love it. Would Jake Fatu dethrone him? I feel like someone would definitely obviously probably the Bloodline will probably interrupt him and then keep him in the feud with them until he gets back to the United States Championship. But I feel like a Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes storyline would be a pretty decent one, and you can't not lie. The crowd would be behind both the men, both Jacob and Solo, or Jacob and Cody, and it would still be a banger of matches. You could have banger crossers, you could have mighty moonsaults, you can have top rope Cody cutters, you can have tables. And honestly, make it a street fight or make it a match that no disqualification. Banger match right on the way, bro. Or I Quit match. I Quit match, this would actually be unpredictable, actually. An I Quit match versus Jake Fatu, who's kind of a babyface, versus Cody Rhodes, who's a traditional babyface. That's a very unpredictable match, because you don't know there's no way Jake Fatu would quit, or there's no way Cody Rhodes would quit. So I feel like that match would just go on for ages, bro. Ages, I'm telling you. But I don't care. One time, please, WWE. Please, one time, if WWE, if you're listening to this, just give me Jacob versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship one time, and Cody wins. Please, just give me that. Please, just give me that one time. It would be very interesting to the storyline too. I feel like many people won't be expecting it either. How can I be so rich and so humble? How can I look this good to be humble? We got humble man himself, Logan Paul. Now, normally, I feel like Logan Paul wouldn't be in this conversation. But this man can go from Raw, SmackDown, SmackDown, NXT, Raw. And I think Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul in an actual feud would be better than a one-time match. We've seen that at the beginning of Cody Rhodes' first title reign. But let's be honest, that was just a one-time thing. Not an actual really big feud happened. But since that also Logan Paul was a United States champion, he should have been focusing on his United States Championship. But now Logan Paul has no title. He can really focus on the world title. And him versus Cody Rhodes for one-time championship would be a pretty decent title match, and obviously it would be a good match. I feel like the promo stuff could do a little bit better, but I feel like if they really put hard time and effort in this, Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes for the championship feud, maybe later this year, or maybe earlier in 2026, would be pretty good. I could see him making a lot of PLEs, and I feel like it would be perfect for Cody Rhodes and character, and to help Logan Paul get more booed, while Cody Rhodes gets more cheered. Because obviously in this feud, that Cody Rhodes would be the most person get cheered the most. Also, I'm already surprised that WWE hasn't already have Logan Paul go after the WWE Championship, because they love Logan Paul, and I'm surprised that WWE has not already sent Logan Paul to the WWE Championship scene to take on Cody Rhodes. All that stuff, boom, boom, boom. I just can't explain how much good and lovely the Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul match would be if they had an actual storyline feud that stretches for maybe a month or two. That would be way better than what we got in the beginning, that May of 2024 at King and Queen of the Ring, where we just had Logan Paul as United States Champion at the time and Cody Rhodes as WWE Champion. So please, just give me Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul for an actual feud this time, not a 2 to 3 week feud. Please. Anyway, that's all I have, guys, today. Leave in the comments below, who do you think are five wrestlers who could dethrone Cody Rhodes? Anyway, have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.